You can't control your child forever, but you can teach them how to control themselves. Discipline doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes silence is the strongest teacher. Real love isn't about perfection. It's about being accepted, even in your flaws. 1. Parenting isn't about control. It's about empowerment. There's a truth many parents struggle to accept. Your child is not an extension of you. They are their own person. The Stoics teach that we cannot control others, not even the child we raised. You can guide the path, but you cannot walk it for them. You can hand them the tools, but you cannot force them to use them wisely. Many parents raise children from fear of failure, fear of pain, fear of mistakes. And from that fear, they overcontrol, micromanage, and unintentionally kill the child's independence. A Stoic father teaches decision-making, not by deciding for his child, but by stepping back. A Stoic mother allows her child to face consequences, instead of rescuing them from every stumble. It's not that you love less, it's that you love wisely. You love enough to step aside, to stay calm when your child resists, and to let them own their choices. Because real love isn't about possession, it's about offering freedom, wrapped in wisdom. 2. Teach your child to accept what they can't control. One day, your child comes home with teary eyes. I don't get it, I was kind, but they still don't like me. You could comfort them, you could get angry. But the Stoic response is different. You sit down, look into their eyes, and gently ask, "What can you control in this situation?" The child goes silent. You continue, "You can choose your behavior, you can choose your response, but you can't force someone to like you, understand you, or treat you fairly." It's a painful lesson, but a true one. Stoic parenting isn't about protecting children from pain. It's about helping them stand strong within it. We don't promise the world will be fair. We teach them to build inner justice. A child who learns to accept what they can't control is a child who won't easily break. 3. Discipline is not punishment. It's rational love. You're grounded for a week. How often do parents shout this in frustration? But Stoic discipline doesn't come from emotion. It comes from principle. Stoic discipline is calm, firm, and never personal. It's not about unleashing anger. It's about teaching natural consequences. A child who cheats on homework isn't yelled at. They're made to redo it honestly. A child who's rude isn't punished. They're asked to apologize sincerely. When discipline is delivered without anger, your child doesn't fear you. They understand you. And more importantly, they begin to discipline themselves. That's the ultimate goal, not for your child to behave only when you're watching, but to do what's right even when you're not there. 4. Be a role model, not just a preacher. A father tells his child to go to bed early, yet he stays up all night on his phone. A mother tells her child to stay calm, yet she loses her temper over misplaced keys. Children don't learn from what we say. They learn from what we do. The Stoics believe that the strongest lessons come not from lectures, but from consistent action. Want your child to be patient? Slow down in traffic. Want them to be honest? Don't lie, even about little things. You don't need to teach values. You need to live them. And when you make a mistake, apologize. That too is a powerful lesson. That parents aren't perfect and don't need to be kind, brave, and good. 5. Guide through silence, observation, and questions. When a child fails, most parents rush to explain, "You should have done this, you should have known better." But the Stoic parent knows, sometimes the best response is silence. Not because you don't care, but because you want your child to reflect. Instead of saying, "You were wrong," ask, "What do you think led to that?" A well-timed question can open more awareness than 100 lectures. Your silence, when filled with presence, listening, and patience, becomes a space for your child to discover their own truth. Be like a mirror. Reflect back the child's reality, not to judge, not to fix, but to help them see themselves clearly and grow from within. 6. Raise your child to be confident in themselves, not just to make you proud. Deep down, many parents raise their children with silent expectations. Make me proud. Be someone others admire. But the Stoics remind us, pride is tied to ego, and when you make your child carry the weight of your expectations, they start living for your image instead of their truth. You might feel disappointed if your child chooses a path different from yours. But if you love them in the Stoic way, you'll respect that choice, even when you don't fully understand it. Your child may not want what you wanted. They may dream differently, act differently, believe differently, and that's okay. You are not raising a trophy, you are raising a person. True parenting isn't about showing the world your success. It's about helping your child feel secure in their own skin. So when they look in the mirror, they don't see your reflection. They see someone they can be proud of. 7. Accept that your child is not you. And that's a beautiful thing. When I was your age, I already knew how to take care of myself. This kind of sentence often echoes through generations, but it carries a subtle poison. Comparison. Many parents unknowingly mold their children in their own image, or worse, in the image of what they once wished to become. But your child is not you. They have their own rhythm, their own questions, their own path. Stoic philosophy teaches us not to impose our will, but to observe, accept, and walk alongside others. Instead of asking, "Why aren't you like this?" try asking, "Who are you becoming?" When you see your child not as a project to complete, but as a soul to understand, you start to appreciate their uniqueness, not fear it. And that's where real connection begins. Narrate. Help your child build inner values, not just chase achievements. We live in a world obsessed with performance, grades, trophies, rankings, but Stoic wisdom turns our attention inward to character, not credentials. Don't only praise your child when they win. Praise them when they try, when they're kind, when they tell the truth even if it's hard. Celebrate effort, celebrate courage, celebrate quiet acts of integrity. Achievements can fade, awards can collect dust, but inner virtues last a lifetime. Raise a child who values honesty over applause, compassion over competition, and self-mastery over external praise. And ironically, those are often the children who succeed the most, without ever chasing it. 9. Don't react in anger. Respond with clarity and calm. There's a dangerous moment every parent knows, when anger rises and words rush out faster than you can stop them. The Stoics called this losing your reason, when emotion overtakes wisdom. But Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress your feelings. It teaches you to pause, breathe, observe, and then choose. When your child messes up, don't shout, don't lash out. Look them in the eyes and say, calmly, "I'm disappointed. That behavior wasn't right. Let's talk about what needs to change." Children don't fear clear boundaries, they fear emotional instability. Be the calm in their storm. Because when they trust your presence, they'll listen to your guidance. 10. Love should not depend on behavior, but be a steady choice. A child who makes mistakes doesn't need rejection. They need love and responsibility. The Stoics believed that love isn't a passing emotion. It's a commitment you renew daily, especially when things are hard. You don't love your child because they succeed, or behave well, or make you proud. You love them because that's your moral duty, a choice you made and keep making. Let your child know, even when you fail, I still love you. But love doesn't erase consequences. This separation between behavior and being teaches them that they are worthy, not for what they do, but for who they are. And a child who grows up knowing they're loved no matter what, will grow into someone who loves wisely in return. Parenting through a Stoic lens doesn't make you cold, it makes you clear. It helps you raise your child not with fear or pressure, but with strength, calm, and deep awareness. Every thoughtful word, every firm but gentle boundary you set today, plants the seed for a generation that stands strong, thinks clearly, and acts with integrity. If you're looking for a path to raise your child with wisdom instead of worry, walk it with us.